Well, hello everyone and welcome to another very exciting episode here on the MIgardener channel. I know you all are going to love this one because it is a super simple worm tea. Worm tea has been one of the most requested things for us to do. We've done videos in the past on it, but people said, hey, I'm a little overwhelmed with all the things out there and the different ingredients. And so yes, we do have an in-depth video. If you want to go check that out, I would recommend it. It includes stuff like azomite and humic acid and different types of manures and stuff that adds more well-roundedness to your tea, but it can be very overwhelming, don't get me wrong. So today we're going to keep it simple with 2 ingredients. Count it, 2 ingredients. And so it's going to keep it very, very, very simple. You don't need a bubbler, you don't need any of that, which we're going to get into. The first thing you're going to need is your worm castings. Worm castings, not everything is made equal with worm castings, depends on their food source. We just got this on sale at Walmart. It's not the greatest, but it will do in a pinch because our earthworm or our worm casting bins, our vermicomposting bins, we just harvested from not too long ago and we used all of them up. So we don't have any worm castings available right now. So when I saw this on sale, I said, hey, you know what, I'm gonna grab it. So because some is better than none. So anyways, yeah, I got this for $2.50 at Walmart. You can get it on sale at the end of the season. A little tip for all of you. But yeah, use what you want. Just make sure it's worm castings. One of the best ones out there, though, to be honest, is it is Worm Gold Plus. It is just a very, very good quality worm casting. But yeah, so I got this to use today. And then I also have Grandma's molasses. You need unsulfured molasses. It cannot have sulfur in it because sulfur can change the pH of your water, which can affect the ability for microbes to survive. But also, you do not want to use something like a table sugar. And the reason why is because table sugar is a sugar source, which is important to have. But table sugar, it's from beets and sometimes corn even. And table sugar definitely is not something that you want to be putting in for that reason only. Beets, about 90% of beets are GMO, and about 99% of corn that's turned into sugar is GMO. Meaning you not only have the GMO corn, but you also have a lot of the chemicals that are sprayed onto the GMO corn there's obviously traces in that sugar, and also they use a bleaching to bleach it white. So just no, never. I would never recommend using it. Just stick with the molasses. It's very, very cheap, and you can get it pretty much anywhere. The next thing you're going to need is a 5-gallon bucket of water. The water should be unchlorinated. It should be free of any chemicals. And if you also have a well, I get asked this a lot, make sure that well is free of any salt. Salt in the garden is bad, because salt will actually kill your plants. So you want to make sure that the well you're pulling it from does not have a high salt content. And other than that, that's great. I recommend the best thing to use is rainwater. If you have rainwater, that's free, and the best thing is free. So yeah, that's that. And then the only other thing you're going to need is a stirring tool, because like I said, we're not going to use a bubbler. So earlier in the episode, I said you're not going to need a bubbler, and I'm going to show you that you do not need a bubbler. All you have to do is use your stirring tool and stir about every 5 to 7 hours. You're going to be fine, because what you want to do is you want to incorporate oxygen into the tea, because oxygen is what the bacteria and the microbes need to thrive and survive. So if you do not stir it, it's going to go anaerobic. Also, you want to only wait about 24 to 48 hours before using it. Don't let it go 5 days, don't let it go 7 days. It's going to reek, it's going to stink, and all of your good bacteria are going to die, because they actually need to be continuously stirred, and they only have so much sugars in there that they use to feed on, and then if you don't apply it to the garden, they're going to die. Plain and simple. And you don't want your bacteria to die, because then that defeats the purpose. So let's get on into this. Coming in close, I'm going to show you what I do. It's pretty self-explanatory after that. But yeah, no bubbler needed. Don't overcomplicate it, I promise. It's going to work. All right, so the first thing you're going to do is you're going to simply take your worm castings. These don't actually look that bad. Pretty good stuff. And you're going to simply, for a 5-gallon bucket, I like to add about 3 cups. About 3 cups of worm castings. And then you're also going to want to add about 2 tablespoons of molasses. And that's going to give basically your bacteria something to feed on, because when they are actually trying to reproduce and thrive, they need a carbohydrate source, and sugar is a very good carbohydrate source. And so that is going to help them immensely with reproducing and staying alive. What you want to do, again, is stir this up really well. Keep it in a shaded place. We have it underneath this tree here. It's shaded all day. And the secret to that is that sun can actually kill your bacteria. Many bacteria do not like the sunlight. And so when you have them in a bucket like this, just make sure it's not out in the middle of your yard. Otherwise, you will, again, kill a lot of your bacteria. That's just a super simple thing to do, but a lot of people make that mistake. So I wanted to make sure that was known. So you stir this up, we're gonna be good to go. So once your worm tea is finished, after about 24 to 48 hours, it's time to apply it. And there's 2 ways you can apply it. The first one is via a foliar feed. You can get a sprayer or like a watering can. I prefer a sprayer because it's not as abrupt. It doesn't just kind of waste all of it. But you want to use just straight worm tea if you're going to do that. Put it into a sprayer. I recommend filtering it through some cheesecloth so it doesn't clog the sprayer, because that's just a hassle and a half. It's just not fun to unclog sprayers. Trust me, I've done it way too many times. And it's just worth filtering it through some cheesecloth first, and then, or you can get a painter's filter, a paint filter. You can put it over top of a 5-gallon bucket, dump it into another 5-gallon bucket, and it's going to get all of that stuff out. And that's really what I use when I'm filtering my worm tea out. But then the second way to do it is just to actually water your plants with it. But I recommend diluting it 1 part worm tea to 2 parts water. That way it's going to last a little bit longer, and you're going to be able to water your garden like you normally would. It's not going to burn your plants, it's very gentle, but you can stretch it out a little bit further. It does have good nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium in it, so it's going to be a good, gentle feeding for your plants. But also what it's going to do is it's going to take those well, not only the nutrients, but the microbes and the bacteria that you've been growing and colonizing in here, and it's going to take that into the root system, which is where you really need it the most, actually. A lot of times your plants will interact with bacteria to increase the root system, to increase nutrient absorption and water uptake, stuff like that, that helps with drought resistance, it helps with disease resistance, and stuff like that that a lot of gardeners are plagued with. So you can definitely help the plant's immune system by adding some beneficial bacteria and microbes to your garden, and that's a great way to do it. So a root drench is what it's called. Anyways, I will catch you all later. That is the super simple guide. Hopefully you all liked it. Hopefully you all learned something new, and hopefully you all are growing bigger going home. I'll catch you later. See ya. Bye.